I think that men hate women nowadays, and that's why dating is so different. Let me tell you something. Men don't hate women, men want to be women.
So besties, this video is going to be relatable to every woman watching it. One of the main questions we always ask ourselves is, do men really hate us?
If guys are expected to have lots of sex, ladies to stay virgin until marriage, and homosexuality is bad, then I'm really confused who guys are supposed to have all that sex with. I've never heard of women throwing acid on men's faces, yet I'm supposed to care about misandry. You could say things like, rape is wrong, and men would still argue about it. When men respond to sexual harassment with, this is why men don't approach women anymore, everything is sexual harassment, they're threatening women to either accept this abuse and shut up, or they'll get no affection from men, as if men's affection is the ultimate prize in life. I think women who have harmless fun, such as drinking and sleeping around, get much more hatred than men who rape and kill. No, don't tell me this is an equal world. The naked female body is treated so weirdly in society because people are constantly begging to see it, but once they do, someone's a slut. Why do men get called simps for simply respecting women? You get pregnant and the guy leaves you. They call you a whore and the baby is a bastard, but there's not a name for the guy who left you. 31. The number of states where a rapist may sue his victim for custody and visitation rights. 50. The number of states where a rape victim cannot sue her rapist for child support. Girls are not machines that you put kindness coins into until sex falls out.
The reason we ask ourselves this question is because of the way men treat us. We live in a world and a society where women are marginalized. There is a double standard that supports men in every aspect. We live in a world where women are being judged, they are being stigmatized, women are being shamed for literally everything. And all the points that have been raised by every person in this video can be relatable to every woman. I'm going to roll the clip, let us watch, then I'll be sharing my thoughts at the end of the video. Make sure you drop your thoughts, your experiences. If you have one, I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys at the end.
Girls have it easy. They just have to exist. Guys actually have to perform and put in work.
So let me get this straight. We're raised in a world where we're told to calm down because boys will be boys, but blamed if we didn't see it coming because men have urges. Our body congratulates us for coming into womanhood by giving us body hair that society expects us to shave off and the monthly shedding of our uterine lining with debilitating cramps. And when it's all over, our body gives us a celebratory gift of menopause that will leave us with a lifetime of hot flashes, brittle bones, and vaginal dryness. We get 9 months of pregnancy and 2 lactating breasts for your 1 orgasm, push a baby out of a small hole, and you still can't even understand vaginal elasticity. We're too fat, too thin, too quiet, too loud. They want us to be smart enough to not be dumb, but not smart enough to offend the men. We're still trying to convince people that no means no, fighting for our own bodily autonomy, and struggling to report our own assaults since people would rather blame our clothes instead of the men that ripped them off. Meanwhile, the men are feeling used if they're not rewarded for buying us drinks we didn't ask for, but still not concerned that we have to cover them. Tell me again how it's easy.
Somebody just asked me if I think that men hate women nowadays, and that's why dating is so different. Let me tell you something. Men don't hate women, men want to be women. I hate to break it to you, but the men of 2024 want to be chased. I would not even chase you if I were zombie, because no brain. What do you bring to the table? Do you even have an apartment? Do you have somewhere to live? Man of 2024 knows how to do fit check, but he has never written a check in his life. What is wrong? Happy Pride Month to all my girls, whether you know it or not. We're all in lesbian relationships now.
The way that men hate women is very different from the way that women are concerned and alarmed around men. Men want total power, authority over women. They want the subjugation of women. And that's why things such as toxic masculinity or misogyny exist, because it is byproducts of their insecurities of women becoming too powerful on their own and not needing them. The society that we have created is structured around men. It is a patriarchy. On the other hand, the way that women hate men is reactionary. Every single woman that I know has either personally experienced an SA, rape, or some other act of violence at the hands of a man, or a close family member or friend has. When women say we hate men, that stems from fear, not actual hatred. There are places around the world where women cannot show our faces, where we can not walk unaccompanied by a man. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference, and misandry is a harmful myth about the feminist movement.
Your body, our choice. Feel when we control your bodies? Hey, bitch, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling? Dude, it's a ceiling made of fucking bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Straight men that are getting offended by Doechie's video where she said that straight men are a red flag. Why are you getting so offended? Are you guys supposed to be like the most innocent group of people on the planet? You guys are the good guys now? You guys are by far the most homophobic, the most sexist, the most ableist. You guys are the most everything. And I'm not just talking white men. I'm talking all straight men, regardless of race. You guys are the worst of the worst as far as morality goes. You guys are not good people holistically. And you guys know this. You guys get offended by the bear versus man debate. Y'all get offended by everything. Like, straight men literally created the freaking patriarchy, bruh. Literally. That's what she's talking about. No one said every single straight man is a bad person. But straight men holistically? Come on. Come on. Take that accountability. What you getting offended for, bruh? What y'all getting mad at?
Not all men, but it's always men. Did you guys hear about the group chat that has over 70,000 men in there talking about ways to rape women, talking about ways to kidnap women, gaslight women, revenge on women, hurt women? 70,000. Let that sink in. That could be someone's dad. That could be someone's uncle. That could be someone's brother. What makes it all worse is the simple fact that they're actually showing pictures. They're sending each other pictures on ways to inflict these hurt on women. I don't even know how to feel. Like, when you hear things like this, these are the type of things that why women say we choose the bear. Hearing this after the man who drugged his wife and let 72 men, strangers, sleep with her while she was drugged and unconscious, I just can't. If you live in Germany, be careful. Be careful with online dating. Be careful with just dating in general. And if you think you're in the US and you're safe, absolutely not. 70,000. Think about that number. We've all seen stories. These lawsuits and these criminal cases don't just come out of nowhere. They start like this. Anyways, be careful out there. That is all I'm gonna say, because that's diabolic.
What if I told you that a lot of women's rights are actually younger than your mother? What are you talking about?
So let me see if I have this straight. Women have been oppressed, beaten, forced to have sex, and killed by men for centuries. And women really could never escape until in the last 50 years, we've gotten a little bit of rights here and there. We started working outside the home so we could be paid real money. And we wanted to be financially independent so we weren't stuck in abusive relationships and ones that could potentially kill us. Even with that, women still wanted to be with men. They still dated. They still were interested in having relationships. They just didn't want to be a servant. They just wanted to be treated as an equal and as somebody who actually had their feelings considered. So they've been begging men for the last decade or so to please just treat us like people, treat us like another human being. And they just didn't want to go through that trouble because patriarchy promised them that all they had to do was go to work every day and then they could come home and their wife would do everything else. And they feel slighted. So they're not going to change. They've made that clear. So women have just opted out. They're like, all right, well, we've tried. We've tried to talk to you. We're not trying to take anything away from you. We're just going to leave. We're just going to, take our stuff and live on our own. And now there's a male loneliness crisis. And guess whose fault that is? That's right. It's the fault of women because we have too high standards. We are selfish. We don't care about society. And if it dies out, it's our responsibility to make sure that happens. It is always the fault of a woman, no matter what happens.
Let me first of all start by talking about the double standard system. Men created a society where they can do anything and society backs them up. Society supports men with their bullshit. Society covers men when they commit crimes against women. Society is basically for men and society is against women. You guys, being a woman is so hard. Being a woman is so hard. And what makes it even harder is because we as women, we don't have each other's backs. And the worst thing that we can do in today's society is competing with each other, getting envious of each other for male validation. There are a lot of us women who are pygmies. There are a lot of us women who compete with each other. We are jealous of each other. We are not happy to see another beautiful, successful, hardworking woman. And we need to love each other. We need to show each other more grace because these men, they don't even like us. The patriarchy created a system where women have to compete with each other for their validation. And that is a drug, that is a setup. And a lot of women have fallen for it. This video should be an eye-opener to each and every one of you. You don't need male validation as a woman. We need each other. If we could show each other the love that we are seeking from these men and they are not able to give us. If we can give this love to ourselves, the world will be so much more a better place for us. When a man cheats on a woman, it's very normal. They justify cheating by their own instincts of a man is polygamous in nature. Some of them even use biblical quotations to justify cheating. Talking about men are polygamous in nature. This isn't about a gender issue. Being faithful and being loyal to your partner is a commitment that you have to make as a partner. It has nothing to do with gender. Being faithful isn't something that you have to clap for a man to do. But in today's generation, men want women to clap for them, to cheer them for being faithful, when being faithful and being loyal is the bare minimum. The same way a man is attracted to other women is the same way women are attracted to other men. And men, since they know that cheating is wrong, they cannot take what they dish out. So many of us women, we want to date other men, we want to experience other men, we are attracted to other men, but we take this decision to stay loyal to our partners, to stay committed to our partners, because it is about commitment, it's not about gender. Men want to justify their bad behavior, their disloyalty, the fact that they cannot be faithful under the pretext of them being polygamous in nature. And when a woman does it, they consider her a hoe. They consider her a slut. Do you guys know women were being stoned to death for cheating? Do you guys know women were killed in the past because they cheated on their husbands? And they called it the crime of passion. But guess what? In today's day and age, women are still being stigmatized for cheating. Women are still being dragged to the mud for cheating. I'm not justifying cheating in any way, but I want you guys to understand the double standards and the hell that these men are putting us through and allowing us to live in. This is not a gender problem. This is a human being problem. If your man cannot be faithful, it's because he cannot be faithful. For men, being drunk is used to excuse what they do. But for women, being drunk is used to excuse what is done to them. So if you're a woman and you get drunk and you're assaulted, you're raped, a guy takes advantage of you, or he drugs you, or does whatever to you, or let me say you even got kidnapped, they are going to use the fact that you were drunk and that is why it happened to you. So for men, being drunk is used to excuse what they do. And for women, being drunk is used to excuse what is done to them. So do you guys see how the double standard system works? We live in a society where a woman who is sexually abused or a woman who men consider to be ran through is more dragged, is more criticized, is more slut-shamed than a rapist, than a criminal, than a serial killer. What even hurts me the most is while men are dragging these women, other women will join these men to drag these women. We have women joining men to drag other women for going through abuse that was done to them by men. Your fellow woman will join a man to slut shame you. Your fellow woman will join a man to call you a hoe. She will join a man to bring you down, to criticize you just because she's seeking validation from this man. We live in a society where a single mother will allow her boyfriend to rape her daughter or her son, and she knows it, but she's going to protect this abusive man just because she's desperate for love. She will choose a man over her kids. She will refuse to protect her own kids because she is seeking male validation and desperate for male validation from a predator. This is a society we live in. A rape victim or a rape survivor is being dragged and being stigmatized for being raped. We live in a society where society will judge you for being raped. They'll look for excuses to cover up and protect your abuser. Even when you argue with men, rape is wrong, they will look for ways to justify why you got raped. They always say not all men, but 70,000 men is enough. We have a group chat of 70,000 men plotting how they have raped women, how they have abused women. They have videos, they have pictures, they have methods in which they are sharing and advising each other on how to take advantage of women. And you guys will still sit and say not all men. You guys argue about women choosing the bear over a man, and you guys don't want to accept the fact that women have come to terms with the fact that you guys don't like us. You guys are trying to make it seem like we are delusional, but the truth is glaring right in front of your eyes. The only time a man will feel bad for a woman who got raped is when this woman is related to him by blood, is when this woman is in his family. That is the only time he's going to fight for justice. That is the only time he will seek justice. But you cannot show the same grace to a fellow woman you're not related to by blood. If it were your daughter, if it were your sister, if it were your mom, you're going to fight for justice. But when it's a stranger, you have no idea or you don't know who she is, you don't give a damn. You're going to join your fellow men and look for reasons to justify why she got raped. She was putting on something short, she was exposing her body, she got drunk, that's why she was taken advantage of. It doesn't matter. This is abuse. A crime is a crime. A lot of you men will try to look for ways to justify horrible crimes committed by your gender, even though you guys know the truth. We have a woman who is beaten up by her husband, and men will still look for a way to justify why she got beat up. Rather than teaching women on how to dress and teaching women to cover themselves up, why not also teach men to be good people? Is it so hard for you guys to be good people? Is it so hard for you to just be good men? Can you guys stop objectifying women and treating women like objects? Can you guys not just consider women to be a human being like you with thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Why do you guys hate us? As a woman, you cannot win in this society. You cannot win in a society that was created by men. Everything benefits them. Everything that they do is being justified by the society. The patriarchy created this system to cover men and shame women. Women will always be under them. Women will always be inferior to men. So the least that we can do to each other as women is to show each other more love, more kindness, more grace, rather than competing with each other and hating each other because we are seeking male validation. Seeking male validation from a gender that doesn't even like us. You cannot win. If you're a woman, you have high standards, you're getting dragged for it. You have low standards, you're getting dragged for it. If you have high standards, a guy will call you a gold digger. Whereas a real gold digger is a man who marries a woman, he expects her to work, to clean, to do the majority of the work, and at the same time, he expects a 50-50 arrangement from her. The real gold diggers are the men who expect you to cook for them, clean for them, wash their clothes, iron their clothes, give birth to their children, do all of the house chores, taking care of their kids alongside taking care of them, and at the end of the day, they still expect you to work and split the bill 50-50. These are the real gold diggers. But when you, a woman, ask a guy for the bare minimum, he calls you a gold digger. When you have high standards, he calls you a gold digger. But at the same time, when you have low standards, he calls you cheap. He calls you easy. He calls you a hoe. You're thinking, oh, this guy is going to see me like the perfect wife material. He's going to see me like the kind of girl who understands that he doesn't have it all. You're not demanding too much from this guy. You're thinking he's going to consider you as a perfect girlfriend, a wife material. But guess what? He considers you to be cheap. But at the same time, if you demand these things from a man, he considers you to be a gold digger. He calls you a gold digger. Everything that has been used to shame women today is just a projection of the failures of men. They are projecting their own failures onto us. They are projecting their insecurities on women. They are projecting their failures on women. How did daddy issues become an insult to girls when it is the men who failed as fathers? They failed as fathers to take care of their daughters. But at the same time, daddy issues is an insult that is projected onto their children, onto their daughters, to women. A woman gets abused and she's being dragged for it, but nobody talks about the abuser. Nobody drags the abuser. A woman is a single mother and she's being dragged for being a single mother, but nobody drags the man who abandoned his kids and abandoned the mother of his children. And it is the same way single mothers are being dragged for being the parents that stayed. They would drag single mothers for staying and raising their kids. These women are doing it wholeheartedly on their own. But the men who made them single mothers are nowhere to be found. They are in other relationships, creating more single mothers and creating more broken homes. And society has nothing to say to these men. Society has nothing to do about it. A guy will come into your life, sell you the dream of a relationship, sell you the dream of commitment, marriage, just because he wants to sleep with you. And after he sleeps with you and dumps you and moves on to another girl, society blames you for being stupid. Other men will blame you for being stupid, but they won't consider the fact that this guy manipulated you just to get sex from you. And I think this is another form of sexual abuse. A guy who manipulates women to have sex with these women, selling these women a dream just because he wants to sleep with them. It's another form of sexual abuse. And if you, a man, are doing this, you're no different from a rapist. You're no different from a sex offender. Society will blame you for getting played as a woman by a man, but they won't blame this man for playing you. They'll consider him to be smart. They'll consider him to be the man. Society will hail him. Other men will hail him. They'll project him as the real guy. But you, the woman who was played, who was manipulated, who is the victim of this manipulation, society will shame you for it. They will shame you for getting played by this guy who sold you a dream of a relationship and commitment and marriage. Decenter men, because they are not even worth it. Until you find a guy who is worth it, fine. But if you don't meet that guy who is worth it, continue to center men, because most of them don't even like women. They don't even mean well for women. It's because the world is scared of feminine energy. They are scared of your power. They are scared of your energy. So they want to control you. They want to have power over you. And that is why they created this system to subdue us, to make us feel inferior, to shame us for everything, blame us for everything, and a system where you can never win in anything. That is why we have a lot of feminists who are fighting for equal rights for both men and women. And the reason why a lot of men are against feminism is because they want you to be under them. They want to control you. They want to have power over you. They want you to always feel inferior. This is the reason why they don't like feminists. What I hate the most is when I come online and I see some women against feminism. If not because of feminism, you wouldn't even have the say. You wouldn't even have a cell phone to come online and talk rubbish. If not because of feminism, you wouldn't even have the right to go to the bank and withdraw money from an ATM card. You wouldn't be able to wear the clothes you wear. You wouldn't be able to go out and do whatever you want. You wouldn't be able to work. You wouldn't be able to have money on your own. If not because of feminism, you are going to be relying on a man solely and tolerating whatever bullshit this man gives you, because the system back then permitted them to do whatever they wanted to do to women. So for all the women who are out there against feminism, you guys need to wake up, because there are a lot of you who, I don't even know if I should call you guys pygmies, but you guys need to see the society for what it truly is. It is broken and it does not support women in any way. Everything in today's generation just shows us that men don't really like women. And if you're blind enough to not see it, please remove the scales from your eyes. The way they treat us, the way they talk about us, you see men objectifying women. They call women goods, ran through goods, used goods. These are some words men use to define women. They call you used goods, they call you ran through, they call you damaged goods. If you go to the comment section of some pages on Instagram that brings women down and you see the way men talk about women, these are not people who like women. They don't like women. I think the only reason, or the only thing men need women for is for childbearing and reproduction and for sexual satisfaction. They just need you to sleep with you. They don't need you for any other thing. That is the only reason why they haven't killed us all together. Majority of the actions of a man shows that they don't really like women like that. A man would prefer to be with his homeboys than to be with his girlfriend. The happiest moment of every guy is when he's with his friends. In as much as there are men out there who love women, who treat women with respect, There are a lot of men who don't respect women. That is why when a guy respects a woman, they try to stigmatize him for it. A man who treats a woman well, he's being ridiculed for it. They call them sims. We live in a society where a man doing the bare minimum for a woman, simple respect for a woman, simply being faithful to a woman, other men, other misogynistic men will drag him for it. Toxic men will drag him for it. Society will drag him for treating a woman with respect and care. They will call him a sim because he respects women. That's the society we live in. Other men hate to see another man spoiling his woman. They will ridicule you for spoiling a woman. You get a woman a car, you get her a house, they will call you a dummy, they'll call you a fool, they'll call you a simp because you're willing to do these things for a woman. They think a woman doesn't deserve certain things. So when they see men who are able to do these things for women, they get jealous and they want to ridicule these men for it. They want to drag these men for it. And other men are angry because he's spoiling his woman. Especially the ones who are broke. Broke men in particular, they hate to see another man taking care of a woman, because they cannot do it, and because they are unable to do it for a woman, they want to drag a man who is capable of doing those things for his woman. Before, we used to hear people say things like, when you see 5 women together, 2 of them are victims of sexual abuse. But in today's generation, when you see 5 men together, 4 of them are capable of abuse, they are capable of rape, and just 1 is incapable of rape. It's to tell you guys how scary it is, how women need to be very careful. Any man that you see is a suspect. He can take advantage of you. He can be a serial killer. He can be a rapist. Just be careful. Take care of yourself, because it doesn't show on the face. You cannot determine an abuser, a rapist, a predator from the looks of his face, or from the job he has, or from what he does. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have preachers who are taking advantage of women, who are rapists, who are doing horrible things to women. So you guys need to be very careful. We have men, we have a lot of sick men walking out there. Sick men who are walking on the streets. They consider women to be praised. They walk and prey on women, manipulate these women and take advantage of these women. All of these things is what makes us women to choose the bear. It is what makes us women to consider that men don't really like us. I just had to do this video because I want this video to be a wake-up call to each and every one of you to be careful out there. Show each other more love, more grace. There are a lot of you who are single mothers, a lot of you who are single married mothers. You're married, but at the same time you're a single mother, you're the one taking care of your kids. I want to shout you guys out, and for each and every one of you, even if you're not a mom, so long as you're a woman, I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you, because it is not easy, you guys. It is hard to be a woman. It is so hard, and we need to show each other love, support, kindness, because all we have is each other. So besties, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you love this video. Drop your experiences on the comment section, drop your thoughts on the comment section. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, love you.